Here's a short little practice just to show a little love to the feet. The only thing we'll need for this practice is a dense ball. So I'm using a lacrosse ball. You can use a myofascial ball, softball, golf ball, or something like that. And potentially we'll need a blanket depending. But we'll start with the ball on the floor. We'll stand next to the wall. We can put an arm on the wall. And we'll just place the ball on the inside arch of the foot from the toe and roll it all the way to the heel. And then here, we'll do about 10 rolls. Put as much pressure as you feel comfortable putting down on the foot. And after about 10 rolls, we'll just move to the outside. So here all the way down to the heel. 10 rolls again. And just modulate the pressure as much as you feel you need or can stand. And then after that, we're going to place the ball just in the middle of the foot and the base of the metatarsals, and here just roll back and forth. Again, 10 times. And after your 10th time, here, we're going to place the ball underneath the arch of the foot. What I want to do here is I want to squeeze the ball with the toes and extend the toes. Squeeze the ball, extend. Squeeze the ball, and extend. We'll do 2 more, so a total of 5 here on this side. And then we'll switch sides and do that all on the opposite foot. So you can find the base of that first metatarsal right behind the big toe, just 10 times, rolling back and forth. It's modulating the amount of pressure, the amount of force. That feels good or tolerable. At any time, if any of these feel good, you want to linger a little time, just put pause in the video and you can continue a little bit more of whatever it is you like. Second part, outside arch. And 10 times. Toe to heel. And then, middle of the foot, same thing. Base of the toes to the heel 10 times. Sometimes the ball gets in front of you and you roll it back a little bit. And then after our 10th time, the final thing. Place the foot on the ground, squeeze with the toes, and extend the toes. Squeeze nice and tight, and extend the toes. It's 2, big 5 here. And 1 more. Now, we can set the ball aside. And we're going to come down to our knees. And the first thing we're going to do is called fire toes. So here what we're going to do is we're going to tuck our pinky toe under all our toes. And we just want to sit back on the heels. And then over here, let's take about 5 breaths. Just in and out through the nose. You can lean forward. You can lean back, just depending on how much pressure. It's definitely not the most comfortable position to be in, especially if this is the first time you're ever getting into this pose. Take 1 more breath. We can lean forward, uncurl the toes, and we're going to sit back with the tops of the feet down on the mat and sit back on our heels. Now, if this is too much on the ankles, you don't have as much plantar flexion here as I do, you can always take your towel, if you had it, or a blanket, and kind of place it under that ankle joint, kind of give it a little bit of support. But I'm feeling pretty good, so I'm just going to set that aside. And here, the same thing. I'm going to sit back, and I'm going to take my 5 breaths. Keeping the chest nice and lifted. Close the eyes if you want, and just breathe in. And breathe out through the nose. Now if you want a little bit more, you can start to lean back a little bit and even lift the knees up off the mat. That's going to stretch a little bit more into the front side of the shin. If you ever had shin splints, these anterior tibialis muscles are the culprit of that condition. Good. Take another breath. And then come back down. And we'll just come to a seat. A couple other little things we'll do. So we're going to take one foot and we're going to just interlace all 10 fingers kind of up into the webbing, into the toes. It's nice and easy. Just roll the toes around. Do 10 clockwise. And 10 counterclockwise. And keeping the fingers where they are, we're going to spread the toes out and then actively squeeze the toes in against the fingers. Spread the toes out, spread the fingers. Squeeze the fingers, squeeze the toes together. Splay the toes out, stretch them out, and squeeze them in. 2 more, squeeze out, squeeze them in. Last one, open up, and squeeze. And we're actively squeezing with the toes. And the last thing on this foot, just want to take the hands and just on the outside of the foot, just nice and easy. You're going to work your way up the different bones of the foot. So that we'll start with the first and the second toe, metatarsals, a little below the toe. And let's take it, we're just kind of shearing it back and forth a little bit, not hard. And the same thing, go between the second and the third toe. Second and third and fourth toe. And then finally, the small and fourth toe. Good. I do this about 5 times. You can linger as long as you want, pause the video. But the same thing on the other side. So we'll take our fingers, interlace them in between the toes, up to the webbing. And then all we're going to do here is nice and easy. Kind of move that forefoot around. 10 clockwise and 10 counterclockwise. The opposite leg can be extended forward. You can bend the knee, whatever's comfortable. Go back the other way. And then splay them open and squeeze. And we'll pause at the end of each splays and squeeze. Splay them open, spread the toes, and squeeze. Spread the toes, and squeeze. 2 more. Spread, squeeze, spread, squeeze. Last one there. And then, last thing, we grip the side of the foot, kind of the metatarsals there, just shear them back and forth 4 or 5 times each foot, each toe. Last 2. Release that. Legs long, for love for the feet.